Let's begin from the home front. We're talking about coaches who are now being shuffled, and some of them are unhappy. We're talking about the national team coaches, precisely Finidi George and also Ike Shoromu. In the course of the week, these two guys were asked not to report to the Abuja camp of the Super Eagles, and the NFF came out with a release that they have decided to shuffle the national team coaches because the NFF happens to be broke in quotes at this point. Disrespectful, if you ask me. Let me start with Azu. Azu, we spoke to several ex-internationals in the course of the week, and they said this is a disgrace, is a disrespect for the local coaches, and it shouldn't stand.
Yeah, that was the consensus amongst not just local players, also coaches, guys that have been around football in Nigeria for a very, very long time. And also, we also had Ike Shoromu, if you remember, on the show, Sports Roundup, our radio show. And, he said he wasn't really aware of the reason why they were asking him to stay at home, that the NFF didn't contact him, that he wasn't, asked anything. They just told him, do not report to the camp. And he was still waiting for, communication from the NFF. And when you look at it, anyhow you want to dice it, it's been very, very short, the way the NFF has handled it. The very idea that you have to rotate coaches for the national team is just plain stupid, right? It's either you want to work with the coach or you do not want to work with the coach. So if you alternate coaches, this one comes today, the other one comes tomorrow, what philosophy are they instilling? What method are they using? What exactly are you trying to achieve with that? It's people say it's early days yet to judge Ibrahim Gusau and what he's attempting to do at the NFF. You've had Eguavon, who is in charge of the technical team. He's been there for a very long time. So he should be able to understand, and he should be able to know exactly how to do these things. I say the arrangement is just pure rubbish.
Farouk, let's still stay on this. What's your take on this? And let's look at it this way. We spoke to these coaches and they opened up that they've not been given a written contract by the Nigeria Football Federation. They've been working for about 1 year and 4 months now. There's no written contract. There is no employment letter. Let me use it that way. And they have not been paid a month's salary. They've not been paid a dime, including allowances.
It's so sad, honestly, because we feel that our football is progressive, especially because we are doing well locally. But here we are again, 2023, and we're still discussing about rotating coaches here and there. To me, when I heard the news, I was heartbroken because I felt that this should not be happening any time. You are talking about legends of the game. You're talking about top players here in Nigeria that have done it before. Finidi George as well as Ike Shoromu are two guys that stand head above so many shoulders. But now you ask them to come in today, next match they will be there. Until we have a proper tournament where you bring in all the coaches together, that is not sign of consistency. Imagine we have a crisis and Parcero is not going to be available. How do you blend those coaches that you're putting on rotation? Today you are on Monday, you are coming. It's just like saying, I want to eat about on Monday, and it's going to be Tuesday, and we are eating amala. This does not make any sense to me, and I still feel that there's still someone behind the door that is controlling or calling the shot for the NFF, because for a sane man, so if he's sane, actually, he should not be doing something like this. It's abnormal. It's never been done anywhere before. And you're saying that this is the arrangement. I'm talking about the contract that has not been given to these coaches. It's another problem that so many Nigerian coaches face. And I feel that it's about time that we stopped this kind of nonsensical attitude. If you are in a job that's a national job, and you don't have a contract, you don't have a description of what you're doing, then there's
no sense you being there.
Shoromu and Finidi should know better. These guys have played at the highest level. Highest Amsterdam is one of the biggest club in the world at the point in time. Won the championship with them. These guys work with contract, and right about now, it's just abnormal. It's just stupid.
Yes, talking about abnormalities, we hope that the Nigeria Football Federation would be able to put its house in order and ensure that the right thing is done as far as these legends are concerned. I'm not a fan of Ike Shoromu because I feel that we have other goalkeeper trainers who would be able to do a good job. But if he's there at this point, he should be given the respect he truly deserves. And still staying with the national team, one young man who is doing exceptionally well for his club, again to be precise, we're talking about Gift Oban. The young man has said to Salisu Yusuf that I am not coming to play for the under-23 side. I've decided to stay back. I have a lot going for my club. And let's talk about this again. This young man, several persons thought that with the performance and with what he has shown, if we could invite a player from the under-20 who plays for an academy to the national team, why are we saying this young man should go and play with the under-23 as well?
Well, apart from saying why he should come and play for the under-23, I do not know what processes or how long the NFF has actually been in contact with him, with his entourage, with his agents, with his family and all that stuff. So perhaps it was an invitation that just came suddenly,
yeah.
And for him, he felt like, how do you just come up on there and say, come and play? There's not been a lot of back channel discussions. I do not think that it is necessarily a terrible thing to ask him to come and play for the under-23s. He's 20 years old, I think. Obviously he's doing very, very well. He came in January
to team. He wants to go to the Olympics.
Exactly, and that is exactly what he's been asked to come and do to help the team qualify for the AFCONs, and then he would go to the Olympics when the time comes. He's still within the age range. He's doing very well, and obviously when you're 20, when you're scoring goals, you think if you are old, like if you can do it, then you are old enough to play for the Super Eagles. Yes, but when you look at the attack of the Super Eagles, we do not lack for goal scorers. It's one department that is really, really, really choked. So I don't think that it's terrible that he's been asked to come and play for the under-23s. I just think that perhaps maybe a lot more should have been done in terms of contacting him prior to the invitation coming out. But I think he's a guy that we should ensure that Nigeria does not lose. Yes,
Nigeria does not lose. The young man started playing somewhere in Togo, and he was discovered by his scouts, and now he's doing very, very well for Genk, right?
Gent.
For Gent, and I feel that Nigeria should be able to follow up on him. But if you ask me, coming to play for the Olympic Eagles is also a good way to start up